All right. What time is it?
Oh,
it's about that time. Hi, everyone.
Absolutely.
See some familiar faces. Welcome, welcome. So I'm Dacha. I'll give a little brief history of myself. We only have half an hour. How I got to this path. If you look at my background, it's quite diverse. I went to medical school, so I went from that to holistic health, and it's more of an integration with me. And I went through 3 careers, and now I'm a college professor. I'm adjunct professor of anatomy and physiology as well as human biology at Daytona State College. So that's my day job to support my passion, because passion doesn't pay the bills. Right? So, but passion can certainly raise the vibration to be able to manifest what you want in your life. So I have been very creative. If it wasn't for yoga, I probably wouldn't even have become a professor. My husband pointed that out, because when I finished Red Sun Yoga teacher training back in 2008, I met a personal trainer, and he says, "Oh, you're a doctor, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, can you teach anatomy?" I said, "I sure can." So there was my foot in the door. I started teaching anatomy and physiology at a personal training school in Winter Park. And sorry, I'm videoing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And bottom line is that's what introduced me to the world of teaching, and I fell in love with teaching. So it made me very comfortable with being around people, talking, and helping students find their connection to what their passion is. There's many students that come to Daytona State College clueless, and it's like, I don't really know what I want to do. But with everything that I've been through in 3 careers, and bilateral hip replacements and herniated discs and lots of trauma, I can pretty much, dovetail and say, okay, what are the things that give you hope and gratitude? So a lot of them come from a background of, oh, my grandpa died of cancer, or my mom is sick with cancer, and things like that. So a lot of them go into the healthcare field with that thought that they want to pass on that knowledge and help other people that have been in the same situation. So for me, yoga has helped my back, my herniated discs, my hips. Granted, eventually I did have to get hip replacements. I was born with congenital hip dysplasia, and that gave me tremendous, beautiful flexibility as a gymnast. I was Division I, and got a full scholarship to college being a gymnast. Unfortunately, all that flexibility really overstretches the joints. And that's what I'm here to talk about. I teach medical yoga. I see private clients doing medical yoga. The yoga that you see in Yoga Journal and the yoga that you see on television is not always the healthiest yoga. Right? Am I right? You've seen like these crazy poses and you're like, why is that supposedly healthy? It's not. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to do poses that are going to crunch the vertebrae. Really extreme back bending is going to compress the discs, perhaps pop them out, as was in my case, herniate completely out. And press on spinal nerves, which have further branches to all parts of your foot and lower extremity. So I've met people that have come to yoga very apprehensive based on all the other yoga studios in the area, going, well, my doctor told me I should do yoga. However, I went to a yoga class and I was worse off than when I went in. My back was so bad I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. And that's not what we want for our clients. We want safe movement. So I developed this practice 10 years ago. The studio is going to be open 10 years now, January 11th. So I'm very excited about that. And our teachers are all trained massage therapy, Reiki masters. For me, I have obviously an anatomy background and being a physician. So that all helps in understanding corrective exercise and postural awareness. So in this outline, I obviously do not have time to go over in half an hour all the things that I do, but I'll try. I'll give it a shot. So with medical yoga, when you see somebody like me for one-on-one, I actually do stretch therapy. So what is that? I actually the massage world has gotten into that. But gymnasts and dancers have been doing it for years, stretching each other. Partner yoga, people have been doing it for years. So basically, on the table, I stretch you, and we do various modalities of stretching. For example, I'll have you press against my hand, and that will activate certain receptors in your muscle. And then it'll slowly relax and turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relaxation response. And the muscle will relax so that I'm able to go a little bit deeper, as long as you are aware of breath. So I teach you the breath awareness, which of course is from yoga. I also do one-on-one. When I do private sessions, I do a gait analysis. Having gone to podiatry school, I'm very mindful of any kind of scoliosis, limb length discrepancy. Even if it's half an inch or 1 inch, it does make a big difference in terms of back, hip, knee pain. Angular deformities in the foot, excessive pronation, which is basically your feet are turned out and your arch rolls out like this. And you've seen people that walk like that. Eventually they get knee pain medially, they get hip pain, they get lower back pain. So I watch for that, and we practice. We have exercises. We have this balance pad, for example. So I brought all my tools. I have more, but I didn't bring the big balance ball and the Bosu ball because it's very big. So I just brought some of the things so you could see what I do. So for someone who has issues with pronation and they walk like this, right? In podiatry school, we were taught, well, you need to strengthen the posterior tibial tendon, which is right behind the ankle. So we do little simple things like toe rises, turning the feet, toe rises. But on this balance pad, it's really difficult because it's very soft, and you really have to work those muscles to get up. So those are some of the things. We work with a stick, for example, someone who has kyphosis, which is a rounded back, right? We work with a stick. We have tummy in, navel to the spine, so shoulders down, hands by the hips, and we walk. And we do simple things like even just bending with the back straight and doing squats with the back straight. So making sure that when you are doing chair pose in yoga, how many people have seen this going on, right? People do this or they do that, right? And so all these malalignments in posture, it's great that you do yoga, but if you're not doing proper alignment, you can actually hurt the joints. So that's pretty much what I do with medical yoga. We use props like blocks and straps. I've also used fitness equipment. The sliders are really great. I'll demonstrate that. I do this I have 2 clients that are hip replacements like me. So we obviously have to gain strength. So we do practice the adductor muscle because these really get sacrificed when we have hip surgery. All right? And there's various positions that we could do, just lunges like this. We can even do warrior 1 sliding back like this. Okay? We could do goddess pose. All kinds of things with the sliders. So it's too cold to do yoga today. I'm going to pull a muscle and I don't want to do that. So with the program that I've developed, I also got certified in therapeutic Pilates. So what is therapeutic Pilates? It's very similar to yoga. It still involves breath work. It still involves alignment of the posture, the spine being aligned. The only difference is the discipline of the breath, pranayama in yoga. So in yoga we do diaphragmatic breathing. So go ahead and take your thumb right here, the knuckle of your thumb, metacarpal, place it right here underneath the rib cage. That is your solar plexus area. So with diaphragmatic breathing, we actually stick the belly out. So when we inhale, we inflate the belly out. So you want that knuckle going out. And then as you exhale, bringing it in. Okay? So that's the breath that you see in babies, right? Babies breathe naturally and their bellies rise and fall. So that's the yoga breath. Okay? Keeping the spine straight, but expanding from the belly and then bringing it back. Expanding from the belly and bringing it back. And as you expand from the belly, the diaphragm drops and the rib cage is allowed to open up all the way up to the clavicle where the apex of the lung is. So that's full breath. Wonderful. Turns on the rest and relax, which is parasympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve, which is controlled by the medulla and the hindbrain. All of that gets turned on instantly. But in Pilates, it's a bit different. So Pilates exercises involves bringing the pelvic floor in, and up. So zipping it up, that's what I call it. Zip up the gut. Navel to the spine, zip it all up. Now try breathing like that. It's not easy. So sit up straight. Go ahead and sit up. Put your feet down flat. Good. Now go ahead and feel your pelvis. It's okay to feel your pelvis, right? Find your pubic bone. It's okay. We're in safe space. Okay, find your pubic bone. Yes? Okay, pull it in and up, zip it up, zip it up, zip it up, navel to the spine. Feel your back, nice and neutral. There's no arch, right? Nice and neutral. Tummy's in, yeah? Navel to the spine. Now take your hands to the rib cage. Now, here's the hard part. This is Pilates breath. Keep that tummy in. Keep the whole zipped up pelvis and abdomen, solar plexus included, and just flare out the rib cage. That's Pilates breath. It's hard. So here we go. And it's inhale through nose, exhale through the mouth, unlike yoga. So watch this. It's like this. Keep it in. 5 more. Keep it in. Getting warm? I am. Hey, kitty cat's here. 1 more. All right, so that's Pilates breath. And we do exercises that are core-based to really strengthen the muscles around the abdomen to support the spine. So people who have back pain, hip pain, it is essential to have Pilates exercises along with yoga. So the combination is a beautiful synchronicity between 2 different types of disciplines and integrating it into a complete wellness package. All right, so what else do I do? For people that have issues, I have a lot of geriatric patients that are referred to by a cardiologist named Dr. Anderson in Orlando. He's very progressive and integrated, and he likes to have all his patients explore safe fitness options. And as you know, it's not always safe. I have an 82-year-old grandpa. He's a grandpa to my children. But I always call him grandpa now because of my teenagers. But my father is still able to do a lot. He walks, he gardens, and he goes to the gym every day. But not everyone his age is able to do the machines safely and not get hurt. He used to be a gymnastics coach, so obviously I take after all that. I'm Romanian, yes, typical. And I grew up as a gymnast, and I was a gym rat. So obviously this was a natural integration of my childhood, my medical knowledge, and then I just obviously fell in love with yoga, and now Pilates as well, because fitness is what's going to keep you young. So I do chair yoga, and I also do stretch therapy. I get them on a little stool to get up on the massage table. But we work with older people, just so you know. I do work with 80 and up. I actually had a 99-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what the combination of medical yoga, Pilates, breath work is involved with in terms of putting it all into a 1-hour package. So what does that mean? First 15 minutes, I'll stretch you on the table. Next 15, 20 minutes, I'll do a gait analysis, find out what your body quirks are, your weaknesses. Sometimes one muscle on one side is stronger than the other. So we have to find out the imbalances. Not unlike what a physical therapist would do, but this is in the realm of yoga and Pilates. So I'm not going to list this. You have your outline syllabus here. And true to my educational background, I've always loved bullet points. You're lucky I didn't bring a PowerPoint. I do have it too. I had 100 slides, and I was like, there's no way these people are going to listen to 100 of my slides. But I did teach the same speech. I had the same speech here at a physical therapy school, and they loved it, so they wanted 100 slides. But we only have half an hour here. So these are the bullet form listing all the benefits of therapeutic Pilates. For me, if you look at all this, here's what it did for me, okay? Number 4, the space between your vertebrae will be increased, which will minimize pressure on discs and nerves. Okay, so what does that mean? I've done yoga since 2002, but when I combined it with Pilates and finally strengthened my core, I actually created more space for my bulging discs and my herniated disc L1. And magically, even though I went to a chiropractor, which of course helped, every time I did yoga twisting asanas, I would aggravate it. So all the good that the chiropractor would do would be damaged by me bending down improperly or twisting in a certain way. So Pilates is a lifestyle change. With Pilates, you squat with the back straight tummy in, engage transverse abdominis muscle the entire time. I didn't even know how to do that after 3 kids. No one even tells you how important that is to re-engage this area. I see, the spiritual aspects here, people talking about yoni, but really it's a physical thing that is important to nourish. And most of us women, after we've delivered our babies, the doctor just says, go exercise, go walk, but you're not even given specific instructions as to how that should be and in what manner should we focus on this core. So with pelvic floor exercises that we do, for example, this is dirty now, but I don't care. Just simple, even in yoga we do this, lifting up, but none of us really are mindful. We tend to do this in yoga, right? This is arching and crunching the lower back lumbar. So keeping the spine neutral, bringing the navel to the spine, pulling the pelvic floor in, engaging the abs the entire time I'm holding this pose. Well, wow, what a difference. I'm engaging the core and reconstructing that weakened pelvis after, well, for me it was 3 babies. And you can do this and do some movement and really focus on the core. You can actually put a block, for example, and now engage the adductor muscles of the thigh so that when you're coming up, you're squeezing the butt, squeezing the quads, the adductors are activated, pull the pelvic floor in and up, navel to the spine. Look at my back, it's nice and straight. No crunching like we do in yoga. It's great if your back is fine, but if you're injured, that's not what we want. So that's the difference between a group yoga class and then someone who has injuries, and we have to adjust and adapt and find different ways of getting that person strong without re-injuring the back or the hips, chronic issues. I have people with rotator cuff injuries. We have to do very simple exercises, even if it comes like to this, or we practice with these light weights. This is called a dumb waiter in Pilates. All right, what are we activating here? We're activating, all right, I mean business now. I'm taking a jacket. Finally warm. Gosh, it was cold. I'm not from New York. I don't know why I'm cold. Right here. So teres major, teres minor. This muscle here, your trapezius. So all that's being activated. So if you have issues with your shoulders, these are the exercises that we do. Okay? So all of these exercises we work on with people with shoulder pain. So these are some of the things that I wanted to mention. Obviously, I don't have time to do a whole routine with you guys. And then towards the end, we do some breath work, pranayama. So Nikki, who is a wonderful person, I've known her for many years, she did her talk today on pranayama. She talked about diaphragmatic breathing. So in yoga, diaphragmatic breathing is the main thing. Inhale for 7, hold for 7, exhale for 7. We also have Nadi Sodhana. So let's practice that one. Since Nikki already showed you diaphragmatic breathing. Did you also do diaphragmatic breathing with Nikki? Great, so you know it. We do that every single session in yoga, so it's very much integrated into a yoga practice. Make a fist with your left hand. Last 2 fingers out and thumb. Take the thumb to the left nostril. I'm going to mirror you guys, so that's why I say left, but it's my right. Okay, inhale through the right nostril for a count of 6. Hold 3, 2, 1, switch. Exhale through the left for 6. Good. Keep going. Inhale. Hold 3, 2, 1, switch. One more time. Hold 3, 2, 1, switch. Good. How did that feel? I'm looking at the time. I got 15 minutes left. I feel like I'm at the auction. I got to talk faster now. I don't know if that's calming. spelling, but so Nadi Sodhana. So it's different pronunciations. For example, you'll hear about chakras. That's how people say chakra. But the correct pronunciation, if you're practicing yoga and you're truly following the Sanskrit name, it's chakra. Yeah, I'm married to an Indian, so he says chakra. All right, so Ujjayi pranayama. So what is Ujjayi pranayama? That is a more advanced breath where you constrict the back of your throat. It's your larynx, voice box. So if you can imagine, there's a little hallway in the back of your throat. It literally is a hallway that leads to your trachea, and it curves. So there's a nasopharynx, oropharynx, laryngopharynx. That whole area is what you constrict. There's these constrictor muscles. So let me demonstrate. It looks like this. Did you hear that?
Uh-huh.
It sounds like an ocean wave, okay? It is extremely calming. I do it when I'm practicing yoga. Okay? We don't have enough room, nor the time to do yoga today, but we're going to practice the Ujjayi breath. You ready? Okay, so we're going to inhale for a count of 6. Now, be mindful of constricting the back of the throat. And long exhale. Wonderful. A lot of oceans out there. All right, let's do 2 more just to get accustomed to it. And notice if you keep your eyes closed, it really triggers that parasympathetic nervous system response. Totally relaxes you. So I encourage you, if you are stuck in traffic, it's a lot easier than dropping F-bombs and cussing out everybody. Well, you could do that too. I could do both, all right? I'm from New York. I do both. But in all serious talks here, the most important thing to stay focused and balanced in your life and stay stress-free, because stress does kill. It causes high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, all of it. It is very important to not be so reactive. Easier said than done. But one of the tools that you have is all these different breathing exercises. If perchance, because this is only an outline, you can look this up on Google and you will find the actual definitions. I just didn't want to be too wordy because it's already 8 pages of this outline. Yeah. So, you can always look up 777 breath, EFT with tapping. So let's do that because that's really important. I showed you Ujjayi pranayama. I showed you alternate nostril breathing. This is the one thing, the go-to for me when I'm really ready to lose my top. Really lose it? Okay. So what I do is tapping the energy centers, the chakras, from crown to root. And we tap it 3 times with the index finger and middle finger here. And we use an affirmation. So I teach kids yoga at Montessori, and they I am peaceful, I am calm, I do yoga. Let's keep it short here and just say, I am peaceful, I am balanced. Sound good? Here we go. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. Good. Now let's go to the 3rd eye. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. Let's go to right below the eyes where all our eye circles are. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. Upper lip. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. Chin. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. Throat chakra. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. Heart chakra, sternum area. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful, I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. Solar plexus. I am peaceful. I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. Find the belly button. Go 2 fingers below. I am peaceful. I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. Roots, you can choose the hip bone or the pubic bone, whatever you want to do for root chakra. Here we go. I am peaceful. I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. Tap it all out. Tap, tap, tap. Tap the energy out. All negativity, discordant energy, leave. Stress be gone. Gone. All right. So that's EFT tapping with breathing. We briefly touched upon the different types of breathing. So you got the 6-3-6-3 breath. You got the 7-7-7 breath. You got Kundalini pranayama, which I'm also certified in Kundalini. Yes, I'm one of those perpetual people that keep getting certified in new things. So I will always, forever, not only be an educator, but also educate myself. So Kundalini yoga is a special branch of yoga that really, really focuses on breath work with asana. And it's done all seated. So if you're interested in that, just give me a call and we can set up an appointment. Not a problem. I just cannot do it in half an hour, which is now only, what is it, 10 minutes? Oh, it's half an hour, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So I will go on to talking about guided meditation. So guided meditation, what I do, in a nutshell, I'm going to give it to you in about a minute description. I start out with progressive muscle relaxation, point flex your toes, squeeze the legs, squeeze the glutes, all the way up. And then we talk about addressing, okay, focus on the mind. If there's any mental distractions, bring it back on task. And breath work as well. If there's any negativity, release with each exhale. And then we do a guided journey. So not unlike what shamanic journeying is, but I don't do the underworld and all that. No, I actually, depends on what crowd I have and where I'm at, because where I'm at is very much conventional. So I like to call upon the archangels. If someone's very spiritual, I call upon all the archangels and God and all its names, feminine and masculine, and the Holy Spirit. And I will end with the fact that my energy medicine training has been full circle. I started out with Usui Reiki. I became a master in that. Then I did pranic healing. And then the last training in 2016 really amped it all up for me, and that was called Holy Fire. Holy Fire Reiki, and I became a master in Holy Fire Reiki. And I've been doing energy medicine now since 2010. Yoga and Pilates since 2004. 2008 is when I had my first certification. So with energy medicine, you can name it whatever it is. It's all the same. It's all about harnessing the universal energy. If you are Christian, it's the Holy Spirit. If you are Chinese, it's Qi. If it's Japanese, it's Qi. Actually, it's the other way around. Qi and Qi. All right? So prana in Sanskrit. It's all the energy of the universe that animates the bodies all around us, including the horses and the plants. Everything that is alive has a force. And when we die, that force goes away to another realm. So when we are working with Reiki energy, we are harnessing that universal energy to clear out any imbalances that will manifest in organic disease. So every organic disease is first going to manifest as a imbalance in energy that eventually leads to degeneration and breakdown. Okay, and that can be proven scientifically because I can show you degeneration of what a spinal nerve does. So if a spinal nerve is compressed for an extended period of time by a disc, i.e. chronic back pain, right? People with disc bulges. That spinal nerve has a lining, kind of like a saran wrap around its long branch that sends the nerve signal to a muscle to activate and contract. Well, what happens is if it's compressed for a long time, the whole chemistry of sodium and potassium, which is a change in voltage that creates a nerve signal, goes away because that whole sheath that's kind of like saran wrap gets damaged. How did it all start? It all started energetically. because electrolyte imbalance that was caused by the compressed nerve. So that was, again, organic, but there's also electrical things going on. Our body is electrical. So if there's an electrical imbalance in the body, it's eventually also going to manifest organically. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
I like to approach things scientifically, although I do like woo-woo. It's somewhere in the middle. All right, so Reiki now is finally being accepted as not woo-woo and witchcraft, strange, what is this, witchcraft? Now it's an accepted modality, healing modality. My first Reiki master that trained me, her name is Ann Bondi, and I always give her kudos and I honor her in all my presentations wherever I go, because she is one of the first people that here in Orlando was able to step through, and that's how I learned about Reiki. At South Seminole Hospital, I bumped into her. I had a surgical case, and I bumped into her, and she told me, "Oh, why don't you come? I'm doing a little workshop," and I had no idea what Reiki was. So she introduced it to the hospitals, first to the nurses. Some nurses were like, "Well, that's crazy stuff, you know." Especially, you know, we've got the fundamental religionists, as I call them, and it's absurd to them. And even to people that are like my husband, who initially was like, well, you know, he's scientific based and he's an atheist. So, you know, that's just not going to fly. You need proof. But we do finally have proof, and you could go look and study Reiki and see that there's a lot out there, a lot of research now proving that Reiki relieves pain. So that's the first thing that I did post-op when I had my hip replacements. It was Reiki every day. It will balance you mentally, physically, and spiritually. And if you did lose touch and connection with the divine, in whatever name you call it, her, him, genderless form, energy that I believe, but whatever floats your boat, it will reconnect you. It will reconnect you. Even if you have doubt, the doubt always goes away when you do a session. It's amazing because it's so transformative. You'll feel vibrations, touch, heat. And then when I'm working on people, I get downloads. Like I never thought this would happen to me because I was so scientific left brain. But I now download like things that person needs to hear. And sometimes I say, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. That's too personal. And then I literally get a guide, an archangel, angel, whatever it is. I don't know because I don't see. I don't have that gift. I hear, though. I hear. That much I do. I have clairaudience. So anyway, and then I'm like, okay, I have to say it. And then they start crying or they are happy and they're like, oh my God, I needed to hear that. I'm like, okay, good. Yeah, so I had one case where I did Reiki on a lady, and she didn't know my background at all. I'm Eastern European. I come from, my ancestors come from Transylvania, from the mountains of Transylvania, okay? That's who I am. My father, he grew up on a farm there. So anyway, I'm doing Reiki on her, and, you know, to me, she looked Asian. I didn't know her background. I don't know what, you know, whether she was Japanese, Chinese. I didn't know any of that. So next thing you know, we finished the session, and she says, very strange things. I've seen some things. I said, okay. I saw that you were kneeling in front of many, many icons in an Orthodox church. Oh, okay, wow. And I go, and I saw that you were with a shaman in Siberia. And we both exchanged that. And she just like, I can't believe this. She goes, I'm from Siberia. I said, well, my grandfather was a priest, an Orthodox priest. Well, that makes sense. So we both exchanged. We both downloaded at the same time. So that was phenomenal. So that's pretty much all about what I do. So take it or leave it. You know, some of the things people will only say to me, I just want Pilates, or I just want yoga, or I just want Reiki. But I do have a few souls that will explore the holistic body, mind, soul. And I will offer them like an hour and 15 minutes where I'll do 15 minutes of stretching on the table, Then we'll work on therapeutic Pilates and yoga to strengthen the core. Then I'll do a guided meditation and end with a little Reiki and just end that way, and everyone's happy. And it's a very full, well-rounded, holistic practice. If you have any questions, actually Michelle, your daughter, has been to some of my sessions, and it was incredible because I would work with her on a physical level to get her fit, and then on the same time spiritual things would pop up, and it would be an amazing experience. It's a journey for the facilitator, me. I'm very humbled by other people teaching me. I mean, I had a lady that was truly Christian and it was so scared of Reiki, but then told me without me ever telling her, your guide is Archangel Michael. I said, I already know that. I go, how did you know that? She goes, I saw him. So she had the gift of seeing. I don't see him. I hear him. He talks to me. I'm not crazy. So I hope you've enjoyed my presentation. And look at that. I'm just a little late.
Thank you.
Thank you.